to the Final Game Show podcast. It is the summer, and we're going to watch Failsafe, or we already watched Failsafe. We're going to talk to y'all about it. And rather than talking about what movies and everything like that, we'll save that till the middle part and just dive on into the review. How about that?
How about that?
Forgive me for just a moment as I plug some holes. So we have a bunch of episodes that you could watch on our Patreon, just $3 a month, 7-day free trial. It also has our second show, which is called There Can Be Only One, where we go deep into the Highlander catalog, every episode, every movie. We're currently about to watch Highlander 2, which if you know anything about that train wreck, oh God. That's going to be a long episode. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite, best, worst movies ever made. So, $3 a month, 7-day free trial, though, if you just want to listen and kind of pick and choose what you got. We're about to dive into Highlander Season 2, so now's a good time to join the Patreon. Additionally, got a bunch of other stuff on there as well, the video game stuff, all kinds of interesting little bonuses and whatnot. Come along, it's a fun time. And this entire month, we've been talking about movies from the 50s and 60s, so let's continue that. Last week, we were with my dad, and he was talking to me about Dr. Strangelove, a movie from the year he was born, 1964. And lo and behold, here we are again in 1964, talking about a movie that kind of always gets brought up when you talk about Dr. Strangelove, and that movie is, of course, Failsafe. Had you ever seen this before?
Never. And
I had not.
Oh my God.
I had not either. This was the first time for me. Is one that my dad had always brought up. But unlike Dr. Strangelove, which is like fairly easy to find, you know, this one was a little bit like I'd never seen a DVD copy of it before. It was not one that I really saw on TV much. It never came on like HBO, Cinemax, TNT, TBS, USA, you know. None of the cable channels did it ever show up on. So it was one that literally just kind of missed me by, but I always knew that it existed, but never actually watched it until this week, whenever we watched it for the show. I did really like it.
Oh,
did you really like
it? It kicked my ass. I loved it.
It's very different than Doctor Strangelove, but also kind of similar. It's almost like when you have like a punk band do a cover where it's just it's kind of like a different thing altogether, but you can see some of the through lines that they both kind of found whenever they were created.
There were lots of times where I was like, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's dive in here. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you said that I think you said this, or I made it up, that these were both adaptations of the same book?
Yes, sort of. We'll get into that.
Sort of, okay.
Sort of, yeah. There's a whole background about this movie and how it came to be, because it's not a mistake that it comes out the same year as Doctor Strange, right? It's kind of there's a reason for that. So, director here is Sidney Lumet, who is a guy who has done tons of movies throughout his career. 74 credits total, so that tells you something there, just about how many things he directed. Directed all kinds of titles, including things like 12 Angry Men, Serpico, Network,
nice,
Dog Day Afternoon,
damn,
The Wiz,
oh yeah,
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. That was his last one he did.
That's a crazy one.
And then he did some more play stuff earlier in his career. So he did like Long Day's Journey into Night, Iceman Cometh, All the King's Men, stuff like that. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff there.
I'm more familiar with this guy than I thought.
Oh yeah. He was a big director. He did a bunch of things. It was not like was known for basically like always getting movies in under budget and before they were supposed to be due.
Ooh.
And he
That's
also
good to be known for.
Yeah. Actors loved working with him. He was known as like an actor's director because he would frequently change the script,
Yeah.
accommodate the actors, collaborate with them, brainstorm characters, brainstorm characterization. Like he was one of those kind of directors who was really emphasized like wanting to work with actors, which is why in all of his movies you see a lot of actors that would otherwise be getting paid a lot of money working for what he mostly did independent movies throughout his career, and mostly got big stars to do them for next to nothing. Most of the guys in this movie are working for below what they usually got paid because they just wanted to work with him. He's kind of one of those guys. That's
awesome.
People really liked working with him. Yeah. His career goes all the way back to the 1950s. Like I said, doing theater, and then by late 50s, he gets into filmmaking. So this is kind of like as he started kind of getting going. He had already done 12 Angry Men at this point, which had already won a bunch of awards and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely already kind of made a name for himself there. And this is being adapted by Walter Bernstein, who was actually a blacklisted writer who wrote under many different aliases because he was blacklisted in Hollywood. For those listening who aren't familiar with what blacklisting was, this was during the Red Scare. So he had been labeled as a communist and therefore had a really hard time getting a job. However, Sidney and him would work together quite a bit. So he was one of the reasons that he was able to continue getting work was because of his friendship with the director here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. The biggest thing that he wrote as an alias is The Magnificent Seven.
Oh, okay. Oh, far out.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Talk about an adaptation.
Yeah, right. And he is adapting the 1962 novel, which is called Failsafe, which is written by Eugene Burdick and Harvey Wheeler. And both of those gentlemen were political scientists, novelists who were kind of known for writing novels of this kind and sort. However, there's another novel that also gets tied in here, and that would be Peter George's novel Red Alert, which is the novel that Dr. Strangelove is based on. And the novelist Peter George would sue the producers of Failsafe for similarities to his novel Red Alert, which Dr. Strangelove would be based on. And because of that lawsuit, they would settle out of court, which would eventually, as we'll get into the background of it here in a minute, lead to two things. One, this movie getting delayed, and two, them having to give Peter George some credit, as well as letting Stanley Kubrick have a little bit of say as when their movie came out.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole messy thing there. So that's the writer and the director. We'll get more into the mess here in a minute because it's a little interesting. But before we do that, we have an all-star cast here.
Yes.
Of all the movies, of all the movies we've watched, this has one of the best casts of anything I think we've ever watched.
It seems safe to say.
You put this up there with like any movie we've watched, and this has got a hell of a cast. Like, I think the only other movie that's coming to my mind right now that also had like an amazing cast was like The Postman. You had like Will Patton, Kevin Costner, all these different big, amazing, very good actors. And then same thing here. We get a lot of really amazing people doing some really great work. So let's dive in. Playing the president is Henry Fonda, who does amazing here. And, not the first time he has worked with the director. They would work together with 12 Angry Men. Mm-hmm. Not the first time we've seen Mr. Fonda. We saw him again, or before, when we talked about The Swarm many moons ago.
Yeah.
Also, not the last time we'll see him either. He also plays the president as well in another 70s, or a late 70s movie called Meteor, about a meteor heading towards Earth. He's the president there. One of these days, we'll have to do our presidential rankings, and we'll see Henry Fonda's both of his presidents by that point rank.
Oh man, this one's got to be pretty high up there.
Pretty high up there, yeah. He's a pretty good president in this here. Makes some hard decisions. Holy shit! Did not see that.
Seriously.
Not see that coming. Other things Henry Fonda was in, for those of you who are keeping score. He was also on Golden Pond,
Yep.
Once Upon a Time in the West, The
Mm-hmm.
Oxbow Incident, Grapes of
I haven't actually
Wrath,
watched that one. Oh, yep.
Grapes of Wrath, War and Peace, Young Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln, playing another president.
Yep.
His career goes all the way back to 1935. So by 1964, he's almost 35. He's almost 30 years in. So, been doing it for a while at this point. And even in 1964 was already kind of really well regarded as one of the better actors of his time period. So
Yeah, I could see that.
Is the president, but he doesn't show up until maybe like about halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it's about like because they just keep talking about like the protocols and all that stuff and
what's happening. Yeah. The real star here, the man that I think stole the show, the man that has always won my heart over, but won it over in a different way here, is Walter Matthau.
Oh, yes.
Okay, were you the same way?
I'm absolutely with you there.
Okay, because he stole this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Every scene Walter Matthau is in, I was like, okay, I want... Because I'm not familiar with this Walter Matthau.
No.
I'm familiar with the bumbling fool, the grumpy old man, the old, the old couple, Disney villain.
Yeah. Yep.
And, yeah, I was not familiar with the Walter Matthau that'll slap a bitch for getting a little too mouthy with him in the car.
Right?
For the Walter Matthau that will command everyone to preemptive strike, let's kill him now.
Seriously, I was like, whoa. It's like, dude.
Oh, God, yeah. So Walter Matthau, he was in 106 credits altogether. Oscar winner as well, same as Henry Fonda. So we're 2 for 2 already. Most millennials are going to know him more for his kind of comedic roles, which as kids included things like Out to Sea, Grumpy Old Men, Grumpier Old Men, Dennis the Menace, Bad News Bears. Did you ever see the movie IQ?
I never actually saw it, but that was what Chris O'Donnell and
I think so. Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Yeah,
he was also in Survivors with Robin Williams. Did you ever watch that one?
I haven't. I need to watch it.
Movie. That's a funny movie on Tubi. Survivors with Robin Williams. Yeah, it's really it's like legitimately pretty funny. And the setup is also really funny. Like they're like basically like going to like a right-wing military training academy to get ready for what they think is going to be like a war against, I think, Canada. It's a really silly movie. It's a good time. Survivors is a good one. It was also an Earthquake, so there's a movie that maybe we'll talk about one day. I don't know. I had the idea of talking about Earthquake and Volcano because they're not post-apocalyptic or pre-apocalyptic movies. But what if we made them into one? And that's the only reason I think we should talk about them. Like, what if Tommy Lee Jones had to travel around the greater Pacific, stopping volcanoes run amok? Clearly, volcanoes with an agenda, though, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
Other things Walter Matthau was in as well was Hello, Dolly, The Odd Couple, of course, where he kind of, that's probably one of the ones that he kind of was mostly known for. Charade was another one of his more dramatic roles. A Face in the Crowd, going way back there. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Have you ever seen that one? The original Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3?
I have not.
It's a good movie. Have you ever seen the remake? The one they did with Denzel Washington? And John Travolta.
I don't think I actually have. Now that you
that one's also pretty good, honestly.
Yeah,
I think both of the Taking of Pelham's 1, 2, 3 are both pretty good, honestly. And then just to round it out, I guess the last big thing that Walter Matthau was being known for would be JFK, which is also in.
Oh,
I always associate him with Jack Lemmon. He's not here with Jackie Boy here, but that's kind of who I always associate the two of them together because they were just always in so many things together. The Grumpy Old Men series, the Grumpier Old Men series, Out to Sea, just kind of showing up in things together.
The Odd Couple movies back in the day.
Yeah. He actually directed one movie. He directed a movie called Gangster Store, which I have never seen before.
Oh. No, I don't know that one
before. I do not have any idea. I feel like I should look it up real fast because I just am curious about like what the hell Gangster Story is. 1959, an
Ooh.
early movie. Okay, yeah, it's a young Walter Matthau. This is about 5 years before he would star in this picture. So he's one of
Mm.
those guys who, after he won his Oscar, his career kind of changed, and that after he won his Oscar, I think in the late '60s, is when he started kind of becoming more of a comedic actor. Before then, he was still kind of known for
Okay.
more dramatic roles until he
Mhm.
wins his Academy Award, and then it kind of changes. What is this movie? Gangster and cop killer Jack Martin is on the run from the law and hangs out in a small town. Low on funds, he engineers a clever bank robbery that yields him a big bundle. Now he has not only the cops, but the FBI after him, but also the local crime boss, who's outraged that an outsider can pull off a heist that hit his territory and cut him off. The movie was filmed with a 5-person non union crew in the homes of the cast members in Anaheim.
Oh.
Walter Matthau and his newlywed wife, Carol Grace, were so broke by the time the film was made, mostly due to his gambling debts, that the couple had to pawn most of their wedding gifts just to afford to pay rent. They were so desperate financially that Matthau accepted the role of director and star for $2,500. He later commented to the effect that it was the worst movie ever, then adding, "Let me put it this way. It was the worst film I ever made. It was a poor script by a hack writer and a famous cardiovascular surgeon who produced the film with his brother, who was a textile manufacturer from Philadelphia." He said the film premiered at Lowell's in Newark and was so bad it never crossed the Hudson. That's some classic Walter Matthau
Wow.
humor for you. It's his first and
Yep.
only film he ever directed. Okay. He said it was the worst film ever made. I kind of want to check it out now.
Yeah, I was about to say that's making me want to watch it.
Thank you, Walter. Making me want to watch it as well. Next up, playing Colonel Cassio was Fritz Weaver. Fritz Weaver would
Mhm.
be in a bunch of different stuff: Creep Show, Marathon Man, 24 episodes of All My Children, where he played Hugo. Um,
Huh.
and he would also be in Demon Seed. Have you ever seen Demon Seed, that 80s
I've
horror movie
never
with Julie Christie? Or no, it's a 70s horror movie
never
with Julie
actually
Christie.
saw it. I know
That
which one you're
movie
talking
is
about. Yeah.
fucking crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie is insane. Yeah, I'm gonna read the synopsis of it just because it's first off, it's streaming on Tubi for free, so people should watch it. It's also on YouTube for free as well, I believe. But the
Ooh.
premise of the movie is a scientist begins to make a supercomputer with artificial intelligence that becomes obsessed. The computer, the artificial intelligence, becomes obsessed with human beings and basically tries to like impregnate the scientist's wife so that he can become a real boy. And the whole thing is presented as like a bizarre acid trip of a '70s movie. It's fucking weird as shit. The director is also got one of those like really bizarre histories. Donald Cammell. Yeah, he's also the same guy that directed he directed some movie with Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. I forget the name of the movie, but
Um.
yeah, the way Donald Cammell, the director of Demon Seed, killed himself was really fucked up. He like
Oh.
he shot himself in the head in such a way that he knew he was going to live long enough to watch himself die. So then
Oh my God.
he had his wife at the time put a mirror up to his face so that he could watch himself die.
I.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
my God.
yeah, yeah. He literally sat there and watched himself die. And I'm trying to look it up online because like he had his last words were very like one of those things where it's like that's fucking weird. Oh god, okay. Donald Cammell, what was his last words? Yes. I know how he killed himself. Death. Oh, his last words were, "Do you see the picture of Borges?"
Oh.
That was it. Those were his last words. Yeah, so
Wild.
that was a detour,
Holy
but thanks
shit.
Fritz Weaver for that. Yeah, Fritz Weaver was
Yeah.
in Demon
Really.
Seed. He plays the other lead in Demon Seed, which was its own little rabbit hole we just fell down and we're gonna come
Yeah.
back out of now. But if you ever want to watch a fucked up movie, watch Demon Seed. And that's a little bit about the director of it. He shot himself in the head and watched himself die. And I guess his wife did as well because she assisted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Playing General Black is Dan O'Herling, who would be in a lot of stuff that you and I grew up watching. RoboCop 1 and 2. Halloween 3, The Lost Starfighter, as well as Twin Peaks. All kinds of stuff there.
Okay, yeah.
General Bogan is played by Frank Overton, who would be in one episode of Star Trek, as well as 88 credits altogether. Bunch of TV shows, episodes of Bonanza, The Virginian, stuff like that. Bunch of TV shows.
Yeah.
Playing Buck, the young man who gets to translate for the president, is a guy we've actually talked about before. Larry Hagman, a very young Larry Hagman, who would be mostly known for JR on Dallas many, many moons later. Was also the director of Beware the Blob, which is a movie that we talked about and is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen.
Oh, I liked it. Is that weird?
It's really fucking bad.
It was maybe that's why I liked it.
It was some hippie ass bullshit.
Maybe that's the thing I liked about it. Just the dumb.
Larry would also be in Superman as well as Nixon. Those are some of his other bigger credits. I guess one day we'll get to talk about Superman. One day.
Yeah.
One day. Playing Colonel Grady is Edward Benz, who would be in Verdict by the same director here. Would also be in Patton, 2 episodes of Twilight Zone, as well as 12 Angry Men, same director once again, and North by Northwest. So lots of amazing credits there. And General Stark is played by Russell Hardy, this was the second to the last thing that he would ever be in. His career goes all the way back to the early 1930s, and he was mostly a television actor in the 40s and 50s when that was kind of a new and up-and-coming thing. So, lots of people in the cast here. Continuing on, because we got a few more also to talk about. Next up, we got Rascal, or playing Raskob. Raskob is the character's name. Is Sorel Bork. Did you recognize who this guy would become?
No.
This is Boss Hogg.
Oh.
Yep, a young Boss Hogg. Yes, sir. In addition to outside of the world of playing Boss Hogg, he would also have a big voiceover career, including things like Tiny Toons, Smurfs, and Rockadoodle. And as well, we have a few random people showing up in things here. We got Nancy Berry, Russell Collins, or we already talked about him a little bit, William Hanson, Janet Ward, Dan Eclair, who would end up being in 183 credits. This would be his first movie, Donna Eclair. And then someone else's movie that this was their first movie was Sergeant Collins. Did you recognize him at the end of the movie? He's the one who runs up and has to do some stuff at the end of it whenever they're about to bomb Russia. Did you recognize that actor?
I don't think I did.
Dom DeLuise.
Oh, that dude. Oh, sorry. I misplaced who you were talking about. That's right. That was Dom DeLuise.
This was
he
his
was
first
easy
movie.
to place.
Yeah, he's very easy to place. This was his first ever movie.
Wow, what a start.
This was Dom DeLuise's first ever movie. Yep.
Cool.
Interesting things there. So let's dive into the background here. Let me flip to my notes here. Oops. I had a lot of them for this one. This was one of those movies where it was like, there's a lot.
Oh.
A lot. So one of the more notable things about the movie is that there is no music at all. And that fucks with your mind when you notice it.
Yep. Oh, no, this whole thing was just like...
It took me about 30 minutes until I realized there's not been any music at all. Not a single thing. It's just background noise. You could almost hear the camera running. It's just noise. There's no music. There's nothing. And that is kind of intentional because there was a score that was made. It was made by Hal Schaefer, who was a jazz composer. So it was supposed to be kind of like I don't even know, honestly. if it was going to be like an avant-garde jazz or like traditional jazz or like low orchestra jazz. I have no idea, but whatever happened, it was never used. The score was. So instead of using the music that was made for the movie, Sydney and the producers just decided to have it presented as it is, which is out. There is no music at all in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very very weird thing. So beyond just the music, the other big thing is the connection to Doctor Strangelove. So
Yes.
Columbia Studios produced and put out both this movie and Doctor Strangelove. Doctor Strangelove, as we talked about last week with my dad, was originally supposed to come out in 1963. It was supposed to come out the day JFK got shot and killed. That was the day Doctor Strangelove was supposed to come out. But they pushed it back, which is why they made some changes, and changes noticeable that we talked about last week, where Slim Pickens' character saying a guy can have a fun day in Vegas with all that stuff, when in the original version he said a guy could have a fun day in Dallas with all that stuff. So, yeah. Now, Doctor Strangelove would come out in January of 1964. So, this movie, like I said at the beginning, was Peter George, who was working with working with Stanley Kubrick with Doctor Strangelove. Somehow, some way, he heard about this movie being made. He presented it to Columbia. At the time, this was an independent movie Sydney was making here. And so Columbia found out about it and then purchased the rights from him as part of the lawsuit. So it was no longer an independent movie. It was now going to be put out by Columbia. And because of that, Doctor Strangelove, Kubrick demanded, comes out first. So it is almost a whole year between when Doctor Strangelove comes out and when Failsafe comes out. Strangelove would come out in January of 1964. Failsafe comes out in October of 1964. Yeah. Now, other connections between the two of them is Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda said that had he known that Doctor Strangelove was going to come out first, had he seen Doctor Strangelove first, he would have never agreed to do this movie.
Oh.
Because it's really hard to watch this movie. Having watched them both back to back, there are some scenes that seem like, because they're both kind of based on similar source material, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of scenes where it seems very clear that Doctor Strangelove is presenting a parody of these things, whereas Failsafe is presenting them as being very matter-of-fact and serious. And
yes.
the parody was just so superior that it's hard to watch this and not just immediately compare it to the thing that's just a little bit better than it. Not that this movie is bad, because this is a really, really good movie.
Oh, it's a really good movie.
If Strangelove is an A+, this is like an A-. Like, it's really good. It has a lot of its own stuff going for it, too.
This, I mean, like, we've been watching some really good movies lately, and this kind of tops it a little bit.
We got to change that soon. We got to get back to our roots and watch some fucking exploitation shit.
Speaking of, whenever we get to the movies that I picked out for you later.
Oh, you got some good shit for me. Okay.
Yeah, speaking of exploitation.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So just like with Doctor Strangelove, the Pentagon, the government gave them no help at all with this movie, refused to offer any assistance. And in fact, Lyndon B. Johnson fucking hated this movie. It pissed him off to no end. Probably because Henry Fonda looked like a more competent president than he was. But,
well,
if you want to learn some fun facts about LBJ, look up some fun facts. There's a guy who can give Donald Trump a run for his money with depravity in the White House.
Oh, yeah.
LBJ loved to piss on people.
He needed Jumbo to be in the room.
Yeah, he had a big old dick apparently, and he liked to whip it out and just piss on people in the middle of a meeting.
Yeah. That's just,
that was his power move. Now I don't know if Donald Trump does that, but he might be pissing something else. It may just be an accidental thing,
Right.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, this was Walter Matthau's last big villain role that he would ever be in, honestly, up until he, like,
Yeah.
as a parody villain as a kid in kids movies later in life. But
Yeah.
he would win his Oscar in '66 for Fortune Cookie. So this and Fortune Cookie are the two last big things he would be in, where he would be any kind of anything. Well, Fortune Cookie's a comedy, but I think that one winning him an award kind of immediately was like, well, I don't need to do these things anymore. I can kind of change my personality type. So the budget here was $1.2 million, and it ended up making $1.8 million. So not too bad altogether.
Yeah, really.
Especially considering a lawsuit and the amount of big budget like Oscar winners you have working here. I mean, hell.
Oh yeah.
That's just pretty crazy that that you're able to get all these people working together, for that kind of a price. Honestly, it did come out to very, very good reviews. However, the box office for it was very, very poor. So, while it did well performance-wise for critics, did not do so well with people going to see it. However, it did result in the novel for Peter George and the other novel, Failsafe, also getting more copies sold. So, hey, there you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And this movie was remade in the year 2000 on CBS, and it was produced by George Clooney, amongst many, many other people, and would have quite the cast of stars in it. And it was presented live on TV in the year 2000 as a broadcast play. So they had two stages that they would alternate between, and including Harvey Keitel literally had to run between the stages, apparently, behind the scenes of that one. And the cast here is pretty crazy. We'll talk about this movie one day. It's kind of a pain in the butt to find. I remember this movie coming out when I was a kid in the year 2000, but I didn't watch it then, and I didn't know the source material. But I do remember either my dad watching it or whenever I've watched a couple of the little clips of it, like for whatever reason, the clips immediately like bring back memories in my mind. So I'm pretty sure I've watched portions of it, if nothing else. But the cast is pretty crazy. You got Don Cheadle, Sam Elliott, George Clooney, Hank Azaria, Richard Dreyfuss, Harvey Keitel, and I said Brian Dennehy, didn't I? Noah Weil, and Sam Elliott. So, hell of a casting for the remake of this film. Which, like I said, one day we will get around to talking about, because why the hell not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Let's talk about what was going on.
I was going to say one thing about the. You said that he was having to like run from stage to stage. When the one play I did that you watched, there's a part in where I'm like, I start off on one end, and the very next scene I have to be on the other side of the stage. So I had to drop everything I had, run around the backstage, like try not to trip over everything and break my leg or something. Literally.
That's hilarious.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
I know that. I know what that looks like.
You and Harvey can relate.
Honestly, we're basically the same person,
Yeah, basically. People also call you was it the Wolf? Was that this character from Pulp Fiction?
The Wolf, yeah.
The Wolf.
They were like, oh, all right. Yeah, except
the Wolf.
Everybody's like, oh, I mean, I guess that's fine. Instead of a relief.
You just show up with their DoorDash. They're like, oh, why did he call himself the Wolf? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Give him a tip, though. It's okay. Let the poor man go home. Oh, God. So this movie came out on October 7th, 1964, which was the game one of the 64 World Series, which would go up to a 7-game series. St. Louis Cardinals would beat the New York fucking Yankees 4-3.
Very nice.
There you go. Yep. This would also be the first
series right there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Two teams that have won a shitload of championships, the Cardinals and the Yankees.
Yeah, and taking it all the way to Game 7.
All the way to Game 7. Yes, yes, yes. This was the first, this same day, not October 7th here, was the first ever day that the made-for-TV movie would come out. And that made-for-TV movie would be called See How They Run. So the very, very first ever made-for-TV movie comes out the same day. Now, let's get into the music. Of all the days we've ever talked about, I think this one might be one of the best days for music ever.
Ooh.
Now, last week with my dad, we talked about Surfing Bird with the Trashmen. We had the Beatles. We had the Swingin' Blue Jeans with the Hippie Hippie Shake. We had the Dave Clark 5. Proto-punk is hip, is in. The kids are into it. Here, just a couple of months later, completely different fucking categories of music than proto-punk. It's like everything is just completely changing, and we get some new stuff too. So we get "Oh Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison.
Yeah,
I love me some Roy Orbison. Oh God, I love me some Roy Orbison. I think growing up as a West Texas kid, you learn to love the people who managed to grow up from your neck of the woods and make it the fuck out. Seriously. So you're like Roy Orbison, Buddy Holly. You just start making a mental list of all the people. Yeah. Roy Orbison.
No, I don't know.
Matthew, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
Woody Harrelson.
They made it out.
That one porn star who went to Permian, whose name I forget.
I don't know.
So, "Oh Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison was up there. Next up is "She's Not There" by the Zombies.
Oh, I love that song.
That song is such a good song. Such a good song.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Next up is "Baby Love" by the Supremes.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. He was just talking about some Quentin Tarantino Pulp Fiction. That "Baby Love" shows up in Jackie Brown. The next song is one that I know you really love. "House of the Rising Sun" by the Animals.
Yep.
Sir. Then we got "Do Wah Diddy" by the Manfred Mann Band.
Hey, yeah.
And "Remember, Walking in the Sand" by the Shangri-Las. I love that song.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
It's the one that's like, "Remember," and then they get the next part. Yeah, that's a great song. And then also floating around the charts was "I Get Around" by the Beach Boys.
Oh, so, also really good song.
Yes, hell of a time to be alive. Hell of a time for this movie to come out at the end of 1964. We'll be back in just a minute to talk to you guys about the plot of Failsafe. But before we do that, before we take our little break, let's talk about what we're going to watch next week, because we're going to watch a little art film from France called Jetee from 1962. And we couldn't save the conversation for next week, so we're just going to talk about it this week too. So if you're listening to this episode, that episode is also out. So go check that one out too. And I think next week will be the first week of July. We decided that we're going to watch a movie that Jetee is largely kind of based on, or was the inspiration for. We're going to watch 12 Monkeys.
Yes.
12 Monkeys. Back to 1995, I think that movie came out. Early Bruce Willis, early Brad Pitt, and some Terry Gilliam. Kind of get all kinds of crazy. Yeah. 12 Monkeys will be a fun one to watch. Haven't watched that movie in a very, very long time. Speaking of movies that we're going to watch next week, I left you with the movie to watch, and that was The Muppets Wizard of Oz. What did you think of it?
So I want you to know something. After I watched Failsafe, I needed a lot to bring me back.
Yeah.
So I didn't just watch Muppets, The Wizard of Oz. I also watched Never Ending Story 3 and Gunther and the Paper Brigade. I was like, I need all of it. I need the kids' movies.
All the kids' movies. Okay.
I just went through all of them. But so I did start with Muppets. I did start with what I was planning on watching, and then I was like, that's not enough. I need more.
Okay. So let's get your.
Oh man, let me tell you, and we'll get into when we get into the plot. Like when we get into plot of Failsafe, I'll explain why. But because man, it hit me hard. But Muppets Wizard of Oz, that is maybe the weakest of the Muppet movies. But there were some jokes in there where I'm just like, can they make that joke?
Yeah, they can.
Oh my god! I was like,
Yeah.
I was blown away by some of the jokes. Where I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
like that's a risk.
So would you put it at the bottom of the Muppets, or would you put it
I
above Muppets from
think
Space?
I'm gonna put it at the bottom because
You're gonna put it at the
honestly,
bottom.
the songs could
Yeah.
not be less memorable.
No, the songs are
Like
terrible. No. Yeah.
it's so I don't know that early 2000s like manufactured pop sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not like it. So it was a lot of so like
There's a lot
even
of that.
the Electric Mayhem, they're like this folksy hippie type band, and they've got all this like electronic sound going in this movie, and I'm just like, what's happening? Why did you do this?
They sold out. They sold out like fucking Bob
It
Dylan.
it's what it yep. So it was just like, man, what happened to my mayhem? Like no good, man. So,
You fucking Pete
but
Seeger and them smashing the electrical shit so they can't. No one can hear this.
exactly.
All right.
But then I watched Neverending Story 3.
Yes, Jack
And
Black. Yes.
holy shit, what did they do to Neverending Story?
There's a reason most people don't watch the third one.
Dude, it's like it was made by someone that hated the first movie,
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it really does.
it's just because Falcor is like this bumbling idiot, and I'm like, where did you get that?
Yeah,
He's
it
not
really much reads like a producer's movie, where it's just
yeah,
like, well, we have to have Falcor in it. And it's like, well, but he doesn't act like that. And they're like, yeah, but kids are stupid, and they don't know any better.
yeah.
Like,
It's very much a kids are stupid movie.
it's very much kids are stupid.
It is. And then I watched Gunther and the Paper Brigade, and I really liked that one.
Yeah, that one's
I
a good
liked
one.
that one a lot. And I loved Robert Englund. His character's awesome.
He's great.
My God.
And I looked up that lead actor. He ended up having like a pretty decent little career, honestly.
Oh, that's good.
I'm trying to remember his name. I'm looking him up again because I don't remember the dude's name. Paper Brigade.
I
But
just
like his
remember
first two movies, Kyle Howard, that's the dude's name.
Yeah.
And yeah, his first two movies were House Arrest and Paper Brigade, where he plays characters named Grover and Gunther.
Oh, that's he
Very
did.
90s. Grover
That's
and Gunther,
amazing.
yeah, extraordinarily 90s. But beyond those
amazing.
two films, I was looking him up because I was like, did he ever show up in anything else? He did. He actually is in a movie we'll talk about one day called Robo Warriors. It's a post-apocalyptic movie that he would do in 1996.
Ooh.
Yes, it's
I'm
the
excited
Earth.
to see more of him.
The year is 2036. Earth has been invaded. The only hope lies with a towering fighting machine. And it stars James Remar. Yeah, you got James Remar and Kyle Howard. I don't know any of the other people in this movie. It's directed by Ian Barry. Who the fuck is Ian Barry?
I have.
Oh, it was written by Stuart
idea.
Gordon. There's a guy we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Mr. Stuart Gordon, the director of he directed Space Truckers. That's the one we talked about.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, so that might actually be a pretty decent little movie there. But so Kyle Howard would be in that. He would also be in another movie that I kind of grew up watching called Address Unknown. This is from 1997, another kids movie. It's about like this guy who finds a letter, and it has the kid from Mighty Ducks in it. It's about like finding connections to your dead dad, something like that. But the thing that I think kills this kid's career was in 1999, he would make two choices. Neither one of them were good ones, I feel. But he would star as one of the lead voices in Baby Geniuses. And he would be in one of the lead roles. Yeah, and he would be one of the lead roles in the 25 episodes of Love Boat, The Next Wave.
Oh.
So, yeah, whoever his agent is kind of gave him some bad advice there. He would do a bunch of TV shows when we were kids that we would kind of grow up, probably not even realizing he was in. A bunch of these I knew existed, but I don't remember him in. He was in 16 episodes of The Drew Carey Show, 19 episodes of Run of the House, 2 episodes of What I Like About You, one episode of 8 Simple Rules, CSI, Numbers, Ghost Whisperer. So just kind of like making a career. Don't Trust the Bitch in Apartment 23.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But he has continued to work all the way up until 2024, where he is still working. So I just thought that was interesting. Where I was like, that actor, I remember distinctly in those 2 movies, and then not much else after that. But I was surprised that he did show up in a couple other things. So of all of them, at least Gunther did you right. So what do you have for me this week before we take our little break?
All right. So this week, what I have for you, now some of these you may have seen, but one of them is, and you'll be able to tell when you look it up. But all right, so starting with a movie I'm pretty sure you may have seen. I don't know. Best of the Best.
Oh yeah.
Eric Roberts. Chris Penn. Yeah.
Best of the Best is a good time.
It is a great time. I love that. I'm gonna probably watch it again just because I saw it on Tubi and I was like, "Ooh, I want to watch that." This one I picked because I was looking through Tubi and it was, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very misplaced in the faith section for whatever reason in the category. But it was Man from Earth. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
Is it the 2007 movie?
I think it is. Man from Earth.
I've seen the cover of this before on Tubi, but I've never seen this before.
I actually really like this one. It's basically, it's so minimalist, but you feel like you've watched this whole production just the way the story's told. So it's very interesting. But it should not be in the faith section. Like, I don't know who did that. All right, then we've got this one. I watched this one a while back, or a few years back. It's called Chompy and the Girls.
Chompy and
this is a weird little indie movie that is weird, and I like it.
Huh. No, I've never seen that before. It looks interesting, though.
Yeah, that one
sounds interesting.
It is an interesting one. It is weird as hell, but it's also I really do like that movie. And then for the exploitation part is a movie from '78, because there's 2 with this title. There's one from '76, but then there's one in '78. It's called Fighting Mad. The one that I watched was from '78, and I watched it very recently on Tubi.
Okay, yeah. Death Force. Fighting Mad.
Oh, and it's from '78. It's a bit of a blaxploitation. You get some martial arts, some very misguided martial arts. Good revenge story. I thought it was pretty cool. It's not very well made,
Well, Well, why would it be? Why would it be?
Yeah.
With the name like Fighting Mad.
Yeah.
Okay. So my options are Best of the Best, Man from Earth, Chompy and the Girls, and Fighting Mad. So I have 78 blaxploitation featuring Vietnam samurais, it looks like.
Basically.
A 2020s movie about a man meeting his daughter and then eating a woman.
Oh,
it looks like.
It's a weird one.
A movie about a retired professor seeking life introspection and guidance, it looks like.
That his story is really cool.
And then we got a 1989 martial arts movie starring Eric Roberts and Chris Penn. Yeah. Amongst many, many other people. I think I'm going to go with Chompy and the Girls.
Not a bad call on that one, honestly. That's a good one.
Chompy and the Girls.
And I do believe it is on Tubi for free.
It is, yeah. It's popping up for me right now, telling me I can watch it for free on Tubi. Well, awesome. We are going to take a little pause and come back and talk about the plot of Failsafe before we get on out of here for the week. We'll see y'all in a second.
Yeah.
and act in them. What we're always trying for, of course, is perfection. In a film, that's only a hope. But with
Final Picture Show podcast,
you can rely on it. Perfection.
We'll do our two little plugs I have for us here. Okay.
Ooh.
And the second one you don't know about. Do you know that we have a website?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I remember this.
Let me plug that real fast then. Travis, pretend you don't know we have a website. Answer this question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you know that we have a website?
Did not know we have a website.
That's Oscar-winning acting right there. Yes, we have a website. You can go to finalpictureshowpodcast.com and you can find links to the Patreon. You can find links to all of the podcast episodes, as well as you can find some written reviews that I've been doing. That's kind of one thing that I've been doing this summer of ours. I've published 4 little written reviews that I've been working on. So covering all kinds of different things. One of them was on Slumber Party Massacre 2 and its presentation as what I called gut check cinema, or a movie you can show to somebody to make them see if you like them or not. And then other reviews are on other kinds of things. I did one on a bunch of different Ridley Scott movies, as well as some William Gibson short story and a Don DeLillo novel. So some printed materials, as well as some movies, all kinds of different things. There's not really, it's literally just called Overthinking It, is the little page of the written material, and it's just literally whatever strikes me as feeling like I should overthink it, and there you go. So fun things there with the website. Now, second thing is, if you're listening to this the day it comes out, then in a few days, we're going to have a little bonus episode on the YouTube, a little sample. Another little Patreon sample. We did one of these before, whenever we put out the first of the Highlander, a little sample to see what people are getting on the Patreon. The next little sample is going to be something unrelated to Highlander, but something related to you and I. I found something. It's going through a bunch of jump drives of mine, not ours. But what I found does pertain to the both of us. And inside of one of those jump drives, there was a file from 13 years ago.
Oh.
And it was a recording you and I did.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
In your backyard.
Yes.
Yes, where we read Dinosaur Erotica.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
For good reasons, I forgot about that. No.
It is 13 years old, that recording is. A completely different time. You and I were in your backyard recording person to person, not over the interweb, and using an iPad.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had at the time. And my iPad had a recording feature, and I was like, well, hell, that'll work. And so I found it, did a little editing to it, and it is now up on, or it's soon to be up on Patreon for a bonus episode. Episode 13 years in the making. The first and only episode of what we called the Backyard Sessions 13 years ago. We might have been late to the group on making a podcast, but we were early attempters at it. Just never actually put it up online. It was one of those ones where I recorded it and I was like, I'll do something with that. And then I ended up moving and we never recorded again. And then I moved again after moving after that. So things got happening. But if you want to hear that, it's almost 2 hours long. And it is you and I from 13 years ago reading dating articles for men and for women, as well as rating and reviewing the brief synopsises of Dinosaur Erotica from Amazon. That was this show in its earliest forms before it became about books, which is what it started as, then movies, which is where we are now. But before then, it was was that. And yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, hey, I found it. Might as well do something with it. So here we go.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was fun to listen to. It made me laugh so much because I was just like, oh god.
Well,
who would have known? Who would have known 13 years ago what would happen to the world?
Oh, seriously. Oh, we were just a couple of like bright-eyed 20-year. I would think I was.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 years ago, I think I may have just turned 30.
You mentioned it in the show that you were just turning 30.
Oh, that sounds like something a 30-year-old
right
would
after
do.
your birthday, I think. It's because we don't mention it on the episode what day it is, but I do mention like, oh, I just saw The Hobbit. I had to look it up, and I was like, when the fuck did The Hobbit come out? And it was like 14 years ago, and I was like, shit. And I was doing the math, dude. And I was like, no, that's probably about right. Yeah.
Man.
I never did anything with it. Well, it's going to be coming out if you're on the YouTube. It'll be a short little 5-10 minute episode you can listen to as a sample. If you're on the Patreon, you get the whole freaking 2 hours. And if you want to subscribe, there you go. There may be some incentive for you. If not, then you get a 7-day free trial. Listen to it free for a few days, and then have some laughs from 13 years in the past.
Seriously, that's wild.
That is wild. Speaking of the past, let's jump back even further in the past and talk about the plot of Failsafe from 1964. So first off, it's been a long time since I've said this, but the font style, I do approve of it in this movie.
Yeah.
It has a very good font style.
It is.
Dr. Strangelove also, tremendous font style. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I think the last time I brought this up was Left Behind. It was had awful font style. It was just like low effort. Whatever the first option is on font, just click it. Who gives a shit? So the opening is an odd one. The opening is really odd, from the way it's shot to what's happening. So he is very clearly has like this. So first off, the entire movie is filmed in black and white. So you got to get that out of the way first off. But the character here that starts this off, and he's having a dream or a nightmare, and this nightmare becomes relevant at the end of the movie because he is the pilot that will be taking over at the end of the movie to do the final dropping of the bombs, as we'll get to. And in the beginning of it, he's having a nightmare that he says he keeps having again with the Matador. And in it, the way it's filmed, first, the way this movie is filmed in general is really fucking amazing. I really like the way it's set up, like the way all the shots are filmed, the way the camera moves, the way the camera is like hiding in corners of the room sometimes, and then just expands and shows you how big things are or how small things are. Thought that was really, really, really well done. You could tell like whoever did it had some theater experience because that's a very theatrical thing to do. It's very cool there. But one of the things that they do at the beginning is he has like this like halo around him while he's like in the stands watching this Matador kill this bull. And it's very weird the way the halo around him looks. It's one of those things where it hasn't aged the best, but it definitely stands out as being dreamlike because it definitely makes you know it's a dream. Yeah, it's definitely dreamlike. So it kind of gets the message across. But yeah, he's having this dream. General Black is, and in his dream he sees this Matador and this bull, and the bull is killed by the Matador. And he mentions to his wife that whenever he sees this dream, he knows that that's going to be the day he dies. And this dream becomes relevant at the end of the movie because whenever he drops the bomb, he says, the Matador, and kind of signifying the end. To me, the Matador and the bull are supposed to be significant and metaphorical.
Yes.
Because, like, you know, it's the U.S. and Russia are the Matador and the bull constantly antagonizing each other with this never-ending display of back and forth. But when one kills the other is meaningless. Like a Matador without a bull is
look
nothing.
What it brings us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of I thought that was kind of well done. That the way it's set up it's more poetic and more artsy than Doctor Strangelove is. Doctor Strangelove is very much like a comedy. It starts with it making kind of like some sex jokes. And this movie is not at all about that. It's kind of doing its own separate thing. Yeah. We then cut to a party at like a little soiree led by Walter Matthau's character, who Doctor it's not grotesque, but it sounds like grotesque. It's like grotesque or something like that.
Yeah, I never no.
He's supposed to be like a German guy, basically. He's supposed to be like a German scientist who's now working for the Allies after the fall of World War II.
Oh.
But he's not actually he's an advisor for the government, right? So he's like, he doesn't actually he's like and they mention it in the movie, he's a private citizen. But he has a lot of expertise when it comes to nuclear strategy, and that's kind of what he's in the middle of doing, is telling these people basically how a mutually assured destruction kind of works.
Yeah.
He's very anti-communists.
Right? Like, my God.
Which is kind of where you can kind of take some of the silliness of the Peter George book, Red Alert, that both this and Doctor Strangelove are kind of using as source material, is to kind of, kind of take it to the absurd, the anti-communist of the character. But, so he basically says that, there's not going to be any war between the U.S. and Russia, because if they were, they would kill the human race would end, basically, right?
Yeah, it's like they know, like, the communist is not a man; he's a machine. He's calculating. Mm-hmm. He knows. He'll calculate all the variables, and he knows, and act on that. No, not emotion or whatever. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, he's also very much willing to risk the lives of millions if it means winning the World War III. Which he does, I think, accurately say World War III has already started. Later on, whenever he's giving his advice to the Pentagon, whenever he's like, he says, I specifically exclude the bombing of Japan because that was the start of World War III, not the end of World War II. As soon as he said that, I was like, that's a good fucking point.
That is. It really is. Like that. Because that's a totally different deal than World War II was something completely different than what we did there,
Yeah, that was a lot of that was. I mean, depends on how you want to take it.
Well, yeah.
A lot of political scientists have argued that Japan probably would have surrendered because the Soviet Union was about to take over large portions of their occupied territory, as well as they were currently literally getting starved out of existence, the Japanese were at the time, because of the blockades. Perhaps that would have ended it. But what definitely ended it was dropping a fucking nuclear bomb on them twice and forever altering the landscape of the entire fucking world, because we had spent a shitload of money on it, and boys and their toys, Sometimes you just get too itchy. You just want to fucking blow some shit up.
Yeah, right? Jeez.
So, the fact that it's happened once tells you that it will happen again at some point, whether or not it's in our lifetime. Yeah. But I am fully convinced, it will probably happen at some point. I think it's only a matter of, somebody with an itchy enough trigger finger and a reason to...
It's almost like Chekhov is in control of the actual reality as far as plot and stuff. I believe it's gonna get used.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
I'd be happily surprised, but
I would be happily surprised. I don't know when or if, but it seems like one of those things that we do so much testing. They just constantly are testing different kinds of bombs that do all kinds of horrible things to people.
Oh, absolutely.
It's only a matter of time before the test only goes so far, and we just have to try to use them on some kind of population.
A thing I heard recently, they were talking about the internet, and they were saying humans with the internet, and I think this could be applied to a lot of technology for us, is like handing or like when a chimp gets a hold of a machete It's like, well, let's just see what he does. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this ends up.
I mean, as millennials, you can see what happens whenever we got on the internet. Like, they gave it to us as young kids.
Yeah.
We've been on it ever since. And some of us that had kids didn't really know how to raise kids with it. And now those kids have grown up with it since they were children, and it's fucked their minds up completely. Yep. And it's just leading to more and more problems. Yeah.
Let me tell you, my relationship with the internet is maybe a little bit different because I was on it for a long time, like when I was like 14 and 15, a little bit into 16. And then after moving, we didn't get another computer again until I was like maybe 19, maybe 20, And even then I didn't get on it that much, but so many things changed within those couple of years. Like, I don't know what happened. Like,
we were like, when I was a kid, we had dial-up, and the computer was in my parents' bedroom.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a thing where I could use it anytime I wanted to. It was kind of like during the afternoons when they're home and they're not in their bedroom. And even then, it was mostly, I didn't even get online. I mostly like played just computer games. Like, I didn't really start getting online, I remember, until I got into like AOL chat rooms and Yahoo chat rooms and stuff like that. And then by that point, after 9/11 is when I got my own computer. And once I got my own computer in my own room, now I had access to the internet. Not when I wanted to, because it was still dial-up, so I literally had to like unplug the phone so nobody could get phone calls so it was whenever, set parameters of when I could use it.
Yeah.
That went on until I went to college. Like, I went to college and we still had dial-up.
Dang.
We didn't have dial-up until I was already left for college, when my parents finally switched from dial-up to any kind of like online stuff. So that was kind of my experience with the internet. It was kind of monitored more by like just time than anything,
Yeah.
I just, the amount of time I could spend on it was kind of limited by, well, my sister needs to get on the phone now. So
yeah. So yeah.
Oh, we fell down a big rabbit hole there.
Well, it is a big rabbit hole, but I feel like the metaphor is oh no, that's a simile. I used the word like.
Yeah, you did.
I know the difference. And I feel like that's a great simile for anything, not just the internet. Like, we really are just chimps with machetes, Like, we don't understand what we're doing.
We really don't. I like that Walter says that like the people that would survive would be convicts and file clerks, which I thought would be a great name for like a post-apocalyptic D&D spinoff.
Oh,
convicts and clerks. Oh, there you go.
Convicts,
CNC, convicts and clerks.
I like it.
I do as well. Yeah, our cast is split up amongst many different locations. So we got some people in Alaska, some people in Nebraska. A few of them start in New York and end up in DC. So we kind of got people kind of all over the place. It's one of those kind of movies where we're going to jump around a lot. So as we skip over the plot, there's a lot of information that we're jumping over because it's just like it'll cut to a group for a little bit, then cut to another group. So, not going to go cut by cut. But we do meet a lot of our cast. We also get a lot of stock footage interspliced here. Obviously, the movie's showing its budget. It's one of those things where, well, Dr. Strangelove does it as well. It's very 60s, 50s kind of motif. I don't think it was until like the 80s and 90s when stock footage kind of became like something that you stopped seeing as much of. Because even like a lot of 70s movies still use a lot of stock footage.
Oh, yeah.
Lots and lots and lots. And I guess that still happens today. So Mr. Raskob is being shown around, and basically he runs a computer company, and they're basically seeing what they're paying the U.S. government for and what the government is doing with all these computers. So as he's being shown around, he basically gets, kind of funny that we talked about it, he basically gets shown like an early internet that they can communicate with satellites in space to zoom in on locations and then have a plane go and investigate that location all by pressing a button.
Yeah.
and all of that is communicated wirelessly via, at the time, what they're using, what they just call this fancy computer, but now we would call it the internet. So it's kind of funny that we ended up talking about that, because it is kind of presented here. Because, I mean, that's where the internet starts. It started as a military program.
Yeah, absolutely did.
The whole idea of the internet is like, if DC gets bombed with a nuke, San Francisco should know the moment it happens, not days later, hours later.
Right.
They should know within seconds. How do you do that? Well, now we have the internet, but back then it was a military program that they hadn't even revealed to the public yet.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that thing that we were just talking about. Funny that we kind of backdoored our way into that rabbit hole there.
That's
so yeah, it's about here where I noticed that there's no music at all.
Yeah.
It's all of the like computer sounds and the ambience and just the background noise of like the machines running and the hum of it all.
Yes.
And you're just like, wait, there's not been a single bit of music in this movie at all. And it kind of starts to get a little unnerving, which is where this movie is a very effective horror movie. Because of like how you start to realize that like, well, there isn't any music, and there's always like, movies have music. That's kind of one of the points of movies, is the intermixing of the audio with the visuals. And here, it's just the noise that you get in the room. It's like you hear people's feet walking around. Like it's very different. Like I said, unnerving thing to notice whenever you're watching the movie, that it's just like, well, that's unsettling. There's not a single bit of music, and it makes you really focus in on what they're saying, because there is nothing else going on. It's just dialogue. You can see why they turned this into a play, because it is on heavy dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
And the dialogue is very, very well done.
It is. You know, I was thinking the part where, you know, Fonda and Hagman are just, you know, it's just them in the room, and they're talking, you know, they're translating and everything. I was like, oh, that's a play right there. That's a 2-person play right there.
Yeah, dude, that was so well done. I fucking love that. I wrote that down later. We'll get to that here in a minute. Yeah. The next thing I really liked was Walter Matthau's character. This is when he gets to DC, and he has a whole discussion on limited war with the advisors to the president on, is limited war even possible?
Yeah, that was
this is where he gets to the part where like World War III has already started. Right? Yeah. At this point, like, can you have a war without resorting to nukes? Now, we know in 2026 that we kind of have and haven't. You know?
Yeah.
Technically, we have only had military operations. But we have successfully had military operations where we have not had to resort to using nukes. So,
yeah.
In a way, limited war was possible still.
Sort of.
Yeah. And this is when we cut back to Omaha, Nebraska. And this is where we get the old switcheroo problem. As they're showing off to Mr. Raskob how this whole thing works, they get a UFO. And the unidentified flying object shows up. And it could be a computer glitch. It could be something real. And everyone starts going through the procedures that they have to go through, where all of the Air Force pilots go to their fail-safe place, and they circle until they're told to not circle anymore. And they're waiting for a code, and the code has to be given a certain way. And the president can't even give the code because his voice could be mistaken. Like, all of it is, which this is the same stuff in Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah.
Same exact setup. And it's parodied in Doctor Strangelove. And it's, you know, Buck is given a reason as to why these things have to happen. They are. And I mentioned last week that it's very Kafkaesque, where it's just like bureaucracy, where all these steps have to happen, and one step leads to another step, and nowhere along the process can anyone stop to ask themselves why these steps are happening in this way. These are just the way steps have to happen. And it's, that's bureaucracy run amok. And here you see it both times. One, it plays out as a joke of a parody of the end of the world. And here we get the reality of the end of the world, where people follow orders, and they just follow orders blindly without asking.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to critically think, even if their wife is screaming at them, damn it, don't do it, you know.
That was nuts.
That was pretty crazy. So yeah, as they're in Omaha and they're doing this UFO procedure, they know that they have an issue with the machine, the internet, so we say.
Yeah.
And so they have to pull the battery out and replace it. At the exact same time this is happening, one of the planes gets a code which is sent into them. And so they try to communicate with the Omaha to be like, hey, is this real? You're telling us that we should go nuke Moscow. But they can't communicate with Omaha because of the battery being unplugged on the internet for a second. And once the internet is plugged back in, they've already decided, okay, well, I guess we're fucking nuking Moscow. Omaha, Nebraska must be in rubbles by this point.
Oh yeah. That's
kind of the setup here, which is similar to the setup in Doctor Strangelove. Like I said, there played for parody, here played for seriousness. There it's a general getting a little too overzealous about the communists stealing our precious bodily fluids, whereas here it's just a good old fashioned glitch, just a big fuck up.
Damn.
So this is when we finally meet the president. And his introduction is really cool. I love that he's filmed from behind as he's introduced. I also love that the room he's in is the tiniest, smallest, most claustrophobic room you could ever be in.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing on the wall is the doomsday clock. Oh god, yeah. You could literally do the entire movie as a play in just the president's office, and it would be really well done. This is also where we get to meet Buck, who was our translator. So same character name as in Doctor Strangelove, but different characters completely. But both of them use Buck in both movies, which is kind of funny. So at a certain point, we kind of start to get the idea that, they can't refuse the order. Even if the president is able to get through to them, there's nothing they're going to do. They're going to have to shoot these boys down.
Yeah.
And this means that they're going to have to get on the phone with the Russians. And this is why they need the translator, so they can translate back and forth as they talk to the Russian president and premier, as they're trying to figure out how they can coordinate to work together to shoot down these fighter jets before they drop their nukes all over Russia.
Yeah.
Jeez. And so far, the movie is pretty stark and harrowing so far, as there is no music. And this is where we start to get those scenes like you were mentioning of the president doing the translating, and the way it's filmed is really well done. And it's very intense. Yeah, I really liked it so far. I thought it was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So eventually the president orders the planes to be shot down. He does some consultation as he calls other people and tries to get
the way
different people.
Like when he gets their opinions, he's like, the decision is mine and mine alone, but I want your opinions only. I was like, ooh, yeah, damn. Like this dude, this is a take charge president. Imagine.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, right. Yeah, he doesn't want them to have blood on their hands, so he's not being like, you're ordering your boys to be killed. But what would you do? And eventually they say, hey, we should probably shoot them down. So they order them to be shot down. However, just like in Doctor Strangelove, this does not go quite the way they want it to.
Right.
As not all of the planes are shot down.
Nope.
And we get into all kinds of things about history lessons, who's to blame here, just these things happen, I loved all of the writing here is really, really strong.
Oh, it is.
It's really, 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 really well done. So I think it's amazing that they have to literally, this movie is about United States and Russia having to rely on each other so as to not die.
Yeah.
That's kind of a very Shakespearean thing there. That's really, I like that, how that was done.
Yeah.
And the president eventually, Russia admits that, one of the reasons that they maybe weren't able to get through is that we were also jamming your radio signals at the same time. All of these things happen. And so they finally say, okay, we're going to stop jamming your signal.
Oh boy.
And once they stop jamming the signal, they're able to get through to the boys that are flying the nukes. But the president is not able to get through to them. He asked
Nope.
them to get the guy's wife. Later on, she shows up. She's not able to get through to him. Like, they really
thought,
do think they are going to be the heroes.
Yeah, I like when I, the idea of bringing in the wife to talk to him, like that makes a lot of sense, because why would a Russian know about any of that? Like, they don't know them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's...
And so they're still operating with the plan of shooting down the ships, and so the president demands that everyone complies to give Russia all the information they need, like whatever it is. And of course, this leads to the generals basically like cutting each other over which one of them wants to and doesn't want to comply with the Russians. On both sides. Like, even the Russians like, we're having issues with it too. Like, there's people on our side that don't want to help you, that would rather just, okay, this is the start of it. Let's get to it. Like, let's begin the end of the world.
And that part is really cool, because you just hear about it, but it's like, well, yeah, of course they're doing that. Of course this is a problem for them too,
Yeah, the fact that you just hear about it is why this would be such a good play.
Yes.
Because if you had a strong actor who could just, like, interact with nobody.
Yeah.
And just, like, pretend that, like, they're hearing these words on the other end and they could have that performance, it could be so well done too. Because you get to hear it's very, very well done.
I think it would be, oh god, yeah, if we could get a chance, I need to talk to Dom about it.
So eventually Colonel Cassio snaps, and he can't help the fucking Soviets. So he hits his commander and says that he's better than everyone, and then eventually he gets taken out.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was nuts. Like,
yeah.
But again, it hit really hard, and it,
This is where the movie, to me, I had to literally pause it here, and I had to turn to my wife to be like, did not see that coming. Because the president, he decides to quote from the Bible, an eye for an eye. So you're going to lose Moscow, we're going to lose New York City. So his plan is to, as soon as Moscow is hit, which they'll know because they have the premier of Russia over there. One of his representatives is in Moscow, and he says, I'm going to be here the whole time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Like,
once the phone melts, you'll know, you'll know that the bomb is hit.
A high-pitched sound, like...
Yeah, they mentioned, like, it'll be... Yeah, the president even says, like, he gets very descriptive. Like, he's like, from what I've been told, it'll be a high-pitched sound that we'll hear. As soon as we hear that sound, your representative will be dead within a few seconds, and then we'll hear the phone melt. And as soon as that happens, our boys, the guy from the beginning of the movie, General Black, he is going to be flying a battalion, and they are going to drop the nukes on New York City to make up for Moscow being nuked. So, literally, the president is agreeing to nuclear bomb New York City in this movie.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
No.
That is not in Doctor Strangelove.
I believe that.
In Doctor Strangelove, the nukes are dropped and we get the bunker situation. Not here. Here we get Moscow's going to get bombed. At this point, there's very little we can do to stop that. And every opportunity we've had to stop it, people have stopped us from stopping it.
Yeah.
So now we're left with a situation where there's nothing else we can do. So we're going to have to sacrifice New York to make it happen. And it's fucking crazy to say that. And that's when I had to pause it and be like, I literally paused it and turned to Miranda and I was like, I did not see that happening. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was explaining her the plot of the movie and she was like, oh, wow. And I was like, yeah. So the president's going to nuke New York City.
Yeah.
Without any warning. The people
the way
with
the
no
movie
warning
does
of this.
it
is
because as it's going to black and going to like credits and stuff like that, you just hear all these people in New York, and then you hear that tone, that high-pitched tone,
Well,
letting you know.
We also, I was going to say, we also learned that someone else is in New York City. We learned that the president's wife is in New York City.
Oh, that's right.
And the generals point that out to each other, and they're like, does he know? And they're like, oh, he knows. So not only is he sacrificing New York City and millions of people, he's also sacrificing, at this point, his wife as well. Yeah, and at the end here is when, like you were saying, before we get all the eclipses of New York, which are really well done.
It is.
Walter Matthau kind of does the similar to Doctor Strangelove with, at the end there where we cannot have a bunker gap. Here, Walter Matthau is kind of screaming about how our economy depends on this. We have to, our economy, our way of life, our culture depends on this. And then we hear the loud pitch scream.
Yeah.
Or we hear the loud hum. As we then know that Jay on the other end of the phone is dying as soon as we hear the sirens and the horns going off. And then this is when the president orders the bombs to be dropped on New York City.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the pilots, and he's struggles with it as he says, the final act is mine alone.
Yep.
Then we get a recut back to the beginning of the movie as he sees the Matador, and he says, the Matador, me.
Yeah.
And then they drop the nukes. And then we get all the cuts of New York City of people just kind of enjoying their day, walking around, not doing anything, just kind of doing whatever. It's very evocative the way it's shot.
Yes.
And then, the movie just ends. That's the end of it.
Yeah. That ending, like, I was just completely silent for minutes after that. I was just like, damn. And the thing that really hit me hard about it is, how do we still have people that want to do any kind of war action or anything like that against anybody else? I feel like if you watch a movie like this with the way that it goes down, like, I don't know, like, surely that would change the way you feel about that sort of thing. I don't know. It just,
I would say it has to.
I mean,
World War II ends in the 40s. And then we've talked about movies now from the early 50s to the late 50s to the 60s now, mid 60s. And every single film we've talked about has been aggressively anti-war.
Yeah.
Like, aggressively, like, this shit needs to fucking end.
Yes.
And it hasn't.
No. People are just not, I don't understand. Like, maybe I'm moved differently than they are, but
I think, war makes money. At the end of the day, that's, it's going back to what we said earlier. It's Bob Dylan, Masters of War. War is profit. So, as soon as people figured out that war makes money, and it makes a lot of money, it's a never-ending business. I was reading just a couple days ago that the war with Ukraine and Russia has now been going on longer than World War I.
Jeez.
Which is true. It's, if you look up like when the Ukraine-Russia aggression started, it's now been going on longer than the entirety of World War I.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So same thing there. Are we going to see Russia get frustrated and resort to doing something nuclear just because they're like tired of dealing with this? That's what people say. The excuse for us using it in Japan was, it was going to be a never-ending war, so we had to do it or whatever. That's kind of the excuse you always hear people use. And that excuse is kind of bullshit.
It's a total bullshit excuse.
We should have never dropped it. The war could have ended in so many different ways other than that, but hey.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we spent a shitload of money on it, and so we couldn't let the Russians have all the fun.
Yeah, right.
As I mentioned last week, because me and my dad were, we were talking about Dr. Strangelove, and I said that, like, watching that movie as a kid, it's a comedy. Watching it in 2026, it's less funny because you see like all these parodies and crazy comedic characters that are, these people don't really exist. In 2026, they do exist, and they're running the fucking White House, as well as many other departments of political power within not only America but other countries. Other countries are also going through a lot of the same problems that we are here with some of these like insane things with fascism rising up again.
I was going to say it's very easy for us to like localize it, but it's everywhere. Like it's this.
There's a lot of different places.
It's like this global threat that we're all just kind of like, I don't know, just.
I think part of it is blaming the internet, obviously. But, I think also part of it is like fascism is easy because someone tells you what to do. You don't have to think for yourself. Shut up, go to work, come home, here's your money, here's this, here's that, do this, do that. It's very much
believe this religion, be this
you don't have
skin
to
color,
think at all. And as a teacher, I have never stopped noticing how much thinking kids and students, adults, other people just don't want to do. Whatever allows me to get through without having to apply really any thought to this, I'm going to take action. And that's not just high school students. That's also high school adults, teachers doing the same thing. So I see that on like a global scale as well. It's just like, I can see the appeal of fascism. You don't have to like think. You don't have to worry about Democrat, Republic. You don't have, you don't have to worry about like who should I vote for. It's just, oh no, I don't have to vote. It's this guy.
Yeah.
He does everything. He just makes sure that I'm fine as long as, I get paid whatever. I don't care what happens with the government.
That's I think the modern day, and I'm going to do air quotes here, libertarianism, because it's really not. It's very much like that sort of, I don't know, like that primed a lot of this like thinking, where it's like, I need to get mine. And then,
there's no doubt about
now
that.
Here we are.
All that tracks for sure.
Yeah.
So ending our discussion on this movie, I thought this movie was really, really good. I thought Walter Matthau steals the show here. The way it's filmed is really impressive. There's some really evocative shots and setups.
Yes.
The camera moves in really interesting ways. The performances are really great. Henry Fonda is amazing. Larry Hagman, this is the best performance I've ever seen him. I usually associate him as like a comedic actor, and he is not being funny here. He is full on serious. I went into this movie having never watched it, only having ever known that like, it's like a serious Doctor Strangelove. Was all I ever heard about it. Is okay, and kind of going into it, kind of expecting it to be a little kind of silly and stupid and just like easy to parody. Being able to immediately be like, oh yeah, I see where Doctor Strangelove could easily make fun of something like this. And instead, I came away with it being like, I see the connections between them, obviously, but they're both very, very, very well done. And God, I like that both of them exist, and I think it's cool as shit that they both came out the same year.
Yeah.
Kind of like a 60s version of Deep Impact and Armageddon. Perhaps the first and only person on the internet willing to compare Kubrick to Michael Bay. But there you go. Travis, what did you think about this movie?
This was such an effective movie. I think the message was clear, the intent, the emotion, it hit me so hard. And it just, I don't know. I got so mad. It's just the world and just being like, do we not understand? Did you not get it? Did nobody watch something like this? There's so many movies like this that they're trying, art is trying to explain, philosophy to us. And, artists are trying so hard to save the world, and just nobody's listening. They're just like, I don't know. It's so frustrating,
Yeah, but, no, I mean, I definitely see that part of it.
But no, this movie was so good. I mean, I was just, and like you were saying, the performances. I mean, talk about standing out. Like, it's so hard to stand out in this whole thing. But you know, like Walter Matthau definitely does it. You definitely get, you know, I mean, I don't know. I was just like, yes, sir, Mr. President to Henry Fonda, like big time.
Yeah, he's a great.
Oh, he's so.
Great
I mean, I, I don't know. I think when we do finally rank presidents in these movies, like apocalyptic presidents, he's gonna be hard to beat. Like he really is. I can't.
Yeah, he's gonna be up there for sure. Up there with like Independence Day and Deep Impact. Also had both really good presidents. And honestly, Doctor Strangelove, Peter Sellers is the president, which is also. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those
things. I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Yeah.
Great time. Well, hopefully y'all had a great time as we got done talking about another one of these movies. About the end of the world. We'll be back next week to talk about 12 Monkeys. We have another little episode coming out the same day as this episode. So if you just got done listening to this one and you want to hear more, click on over to our Jetee episode, which is a French movie from 1962, which would be the premise of 12 Monkeys, which is what we're going to talk about next week. At the beginning of July, we're going to go back to 1995, talk about some Bruce Willis and some Brad Pitt, some classic 90s stuff. Some good shit there. Thank y'all for coming along. Like, subscribe, click the buttons, rate the show if you're listening on the other stuff. Find the website link, go there, read the reviews, click Patreon, all the shit, do all the things.
Yeah, do the things.
Do the things. Yeah, thank y'all. It was a good time. We'll see y'all next week for 12 Monkeys. Bye.
Take it easy.
And stop. Hot damn, college boy. Thank you for coming and watching the show this week. Every single week, we come back and talk about a post-apocalyptic movie. And it's a good time. Sometimes we talk about extremely obscure movies that virtually no one really else talks about. Sometimes we talk about mainstream stuff that pretty much everyone talks about. So either way, you can come back and get some enjoyment. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you could give us a like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching elsewhere, then rate the show 4 or 5 stars, whatever you felt. Leave a comment or anything of the sort. It helps with the engagement and all of that fun stuff that people always talk about at the end of these episodes. So thank you sincerely for listening, if you have listened, and thank you. I don't know what else to say. Just a simple thank you. Bye.